doth the city sit solitary, that was full of people? How is she become a widow? She that was great among the nations, and princes among the provinces, how is she become tributary? She weepeth sore in the night, and her tears are on her cheeks. Among all her lovers, she hath none to comfort her. All her friends have dealt treacherously with her. They are become her enemies. Judah is gone into captivity because of affliction. Because of great servitude, she dwelleth among the heathen. She findeth no rest. All her persecutors overtook her between the straits. The ways of Zion do mourn, because none come to the solemn feast. All her gates are desolate. Her priests sigh. Her virgins are afflicted, and she is in bitterness. Her adversaries are the chief of her enemies prosper. For the I am afflicted her for the multitude of her transgressions. Her children are gone into captivity before the enemy. And from the daughter of Zion all her beauty is departed. Her princes are become like the harts that find no pleasure. And they are gone without strength before the pursuer. Jerusalem remembered in the days of her affliction and of her misery all are her pleasant things that she had in the days of old. When her people fell into the hands of the enemy and none did help her, the adversary saw her and did mock at her Sabbaths. Jerusalem had grievously sinned, therefore she is removed, and all that honored her despise her. Because they have seen her nakedness, yea, she sigheth and turneth backwards. Her filthiness is in her skirts, and she remembereth not her last end. Therefore she came down wonderfully. She had no comforter. The I am, behold my affliction. For the enemy has magnified himself. The adversary has spread out his hand upon all her pleasant things. For she has seen that the heathen entered into her sanctuary, whom thou didst command that they should not enter into thy congregation. All her people, they seek bread. They have given her pleasant things for meat to relieve the soul. See, O Yahweh, and consider, for I am become vile. It is nothing to you that all ye that pass by, behold and see if there be any sorrow like unto my sorrow, which is done unto me, wherein the I am hath afflicted me in the day of his fierce anger. From above hath he sent fire into my bones, and it prevaileth against them. He has spread a net for my feet, and has turned me back, and hath made me desolate, and faint all day. The yoke of my transgressions is bound in his hands, and they are wreathed, and come up upon my neck, and he hath made my strength to fall. The I am hath delivered me into their hands, and from whom I am not able to rise up. The I am hath trodden underfoot all my mighty men in the midst of me, and hath called an assembly against me to crush my young men. Oh, the I am hath trodden the virgin, the daughter of Judah, in a winepress. For these things I weep, mine eye runneth down with water, because the comforter that should relieve my soul is far from me. My children are desolate, because the enemy prevailed. Lamentations chapter 1. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have swelled the thoughts of men's hearts, and let them not lead me astray according to thee, my God. Establish thou me and my seed, that we go not astray henceforth and forever. Jubilees chapter 12 and verse 20. Yes. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You're walking with Mr. Clay. I am Mr. Clay. And we're still in the book of Job. Job chapter 25 as you prepare. Short chapter. We're doing chapter by chapter, regardless of how long or short it is. It's chapter by chapter. Period. That we might obtain an understanding, and something might just jog our brain and our memory as to who the I am is and to see the truth that is still prevalent in the books that are collected in the book or the casing that it's contained in. Yes, it is authorized when it is authorized in your heart. Don't let a man fool you. You authorize these things yourself in your own heart. You stand firm, even if it means your life, on the things that you have proven and that you understand to be true and just before the Almighty. Yes. Yes, we look at the fact is Jeremiah in the first book of Lamentations. These things stand even today. Jacob is sighing. Jacob is in trouble. Jacob is really going through a lot because Jacob is stubborn and stiff-necked still to this day. Jacob had been deceived by the Satans. Jacob have, the young men in the streets and the promiscuous young women of Jacob have done nothing but cause heartache and pain to those who look on and know the way of the Most High. But yet we accuse the enemy. The enemy has a lot to do with it, but the fact is, how is these enemy empowered? Your sin empowers your enemy. Your transgressions against the law, statutes, commandments, and ordinance, O Jacob, empowers your enemy, that he can forecast what he's going to do and do it with nothing said. But God does have mercy. God has stirred up some people in the east and the north. Yes, the Most High has stirred them up to become a help. Yes, you can't just look to them, you look to the Most High. He has stirred them up to the point even down in South America they say, what are you doing? We'll get to that point where they went against unwalled villages. I want you to study that. Look it up. Unwalled villages and stole and took a spoil and a prey of men and gold and silver. And everybody said, what are you doing? Who is he talking about? Look that up in your studies. We'll get to it eventually. Yes, we're in the book of Job chapter 25 as you prepare, and we're in a time where the beginning of the year is about to come. The only place that I know of that is verifiable and that matches the description of Jerusalem, the city of David, and where the temple of Solomon is, and even Herod's temple, yes, even that temple is in that area. Yes, tell her that. I don't care how much you don't like it, how much you have been misconstrued, or someone has told you, no, this is not it, it's in South Africa. No, it's not in South Africa. It's in Kenya. No, it's not in Kenya. You have to realize you have a lot of Israelites that have fled that area and have named some of those areas that they came after their God to be remembered, after their people to be remembered. Down in South Africa, down in around West Africa, yes, they have did that to be remembered. You really do err greatly in that aspect. So Africa is struck out as far as the mainland Africa, other than Northeast Africa, which they call the Middle East. No such thing. On the same tectonic plate. This argument has been going for centuries, and it lays true. The Middle East, which we know it is Northeast Africa, it was occupied by Africans, black folks. Yes, if you want to put race into it, it was occupied by black folks. You cannot call yourself, whether you're African, you're black. Sub-Saharan, you're black. Period. By the standards of this world and these societies, even especially in the United States or America, and then some portions of the Arab nations, you're black. I don't care what you try to classify. Now you can say, you can call your ethnicity, you can say your ethnicity is this and that. Yes, that's good. That's cool. Okay. So what? You're Cherokee. You're this. You're that. Or you're Ashanti. You're Zulu. Whatever. It doesn't matter. That's just your ethnicity. But as far as your color, according to the narrative of this evil world, you're black. That's it. But the fact is, that's how you're classified in most countries that put forth this color differential. But either way, in the book of Job, chapter 25, yes, then Bildad comes back again. First it was Zophar. Before this it was Zophar. Now Bildad come back again. He's a Shuhite. And said, dominion and fear are with him. Who? The I am. The I am maketh peace in the I am's high places. See, you have to realize back in those days, God was just God, because it wasn't too far from the days of Noah. They understood there was only one God. Even the soothsayers and necromancers, they understood the spirituality of the whole thing. There was one God, but yet there were many spirits that God had created. Some have rebelled against God, but who can resist the will of the Most High? Even the evil spirits whom God created, yes, not to be evil. But the fact is, since they turn evil, God uses them to do the things that are evil toward us, or toward whatever God determines for them to do. They have powers, yes, they do. But they can only do as God allows or bids. Or they have to ask permission to do such a thing. As in the first chapter of Job, they had to ask permission. And then they could have took Job's life, but God says, touch not his life. All throughout the Bible, whatever you see in your life, throughout all, man, even the events that's happening today, they are of the Most High. The Most High directs. He directs the United States. The Most High directs Russia. The Most High directs China. The Most High directs Burkina Faso. The Most High directs even the people that come against different places. You say, well, God is evil. No, your understanding is dark. You don't understand God. That's why you must understand the law, statutes, commandments, and ordinances of the Most High. See and know that you understand me, is what the old Most High says. Know God. Understand God. And the only way we can do that is through the Most High's laws, statutes, ordinances, and laws. If you go by historical accounts, they are an account with what happens to one if they obey the Most High, and to one if they disobey what the covenant has said. All these are there. You have to realize these things. They are there. God says to, say for instance, North Korea, I want you to destroy over there in Vietnam. So here are the spirits. They create the different scenarios. I'm showing you something in the spirit that you don't see. The Bible plainly puts it out, or the books that are contained in the casing we call the Bible. The collected books. How that God can stir up the East. How does God stir up the East? Look at what's happening now. You have a tanker stolen. Okay. You have a false accusation made of that this person is doing thus and so. And then you have covetousness. I covet your oil. Someone make up things to where nobody says, what doeth you? So therefore, I covet your oil, so I'm going to make up a scenario where I can legally, and people would guess and try. These are the wisdoms of the Satans that are going through these men and leaders. If you understand this, to make it in such ambiguity that you don't know what's good and what's evil. Covetousness is the mother of most sin. Desiring that which is not yours. Desiring that which you cannot have. That's what you would call lust. Lust is not bad, the word. Covetousness is not bad, the word. But to evil, to lust against something that you cannot have or not obtain. To desire something you cannot have or obtain. You don't want to ask for it. Your pride stops you many times. You can't humble yourself and say, forgive me, may I have this. Your pride stops you. Or the fact that it's because you know you're just big, bad, and got the best bombs and all this other stuff. And I'm going to take it anyway. I'll come up with an excuse later. Okay. I digress. Dominion and fear is with the I am. The I am maketh peace in the I am high places. Yes, peace. Seek God. Even those in South America, seek God. I guarantee you, you will get your tanker back, your oil, and everything else you want. And it will be delivered to whom it was destined to be delivered to. The same thing, Burkina Faso, any place, your country, whatever, if a group of you, if the majority of you just turn from your wicked ways and begin to do that which is right. Dress up your young women. Cause your young women not to play the whoredoms that women play, and your young men not to be the whoremongers, because these are the filth of the Satans to pervert mankind, period. 4, he says, is there any number of God's armies or the I am's armies? If there's a number, even Elijah saw these things. He had to ask the Most High to open the eyes of his servant Gehazi. You see them down there. You see them with all their nuclear bombs and their tanks and all that. We have more than what they have, but I don't see nothing. But yet, Elijah says, Most Holy Sanini Nanini opened his eyes, and he saw thousands upon thousands of flaming chariots. Now you're going to see flaming tanks. You're going to see flaming missiles. It's just symbolic that you can see with your eyes, that you might remain confident. But if you do not have any faith in the Most High, and your ways are evil and wicked before the Most High in regarding his covenant with the children of Israel, then you will not see nothing. You will be defeated and subdued, unless the Most High deems mercy upon you for some reason or another. How then can a man be justified with God? Now Bildad asked this question, how then? Or how can he be clean that is born of a woman? I can answer it right quick. Bildad asked the question, honor the commandments, statutes, ordinances, and laws of the I am, the covenant that the I am has made betwixt the children of Jacob. No, they're not tainted. See, this is one thing they can't taint, because it's born in you. A baby can tell. You take a baby's bottle away, a baby's going to cry. He's going to want to fight. A baby covets your chicken bone. It's kind of funny, isn't it? But yet he watches his mama's or his daddy's chicken bone. He comes at it and he wants to taste it. He wants it. He cries and he just saw his mouth waters. This guy knows what he's doing. It's funny because this is built in people too. To desire, but to understand you can desire something but ask for it. You can desire something but maybe you need to work for it until you can afford it yourself. Now, Bildad said, behold, even the moon, it shineth not, and it shineth not. Yea, the stars are not pure in his sight. Is that true? Did not the Most High make the stars and the moon? The moon, which was one of the lights that determined the beginning of the day, according to the Most High, even in the book of Enoch, the book of Genesis, you read, he made the lights. It didn't say moon. It could have been a translational error, should I say. He made the moon. He made the one light to rule by day and one light to rule by night. It's still the moon and the sun, period. Oh, it didn't say the moon. No, the translators didn't mention the moon and the sun. He mentioned it in the fourth day. That's what happened. But out of darkness still there was light. The moon is a light and even the sun is a light. The moon comes out of total darkness behind whatever planet or sun that it happens. Scientists know that stuff. Doesn't matter to me. But either way, out of darkness, the moon is renewed to its full brightness by the middle of the month, or the month of the Most High. At the beginning, this new moon is the Sabbath. Satan has created so much confusion with you. He's created a network of web of lies to get you not to honor the timing of the Most High. This is by which every man goes by the time of the sun and the moon. This is time that was created by the Most High. By it we divide it to get our minutes, seconds, hours, weeks, days. That man might know to number his days. We can number how much time it took to buy the sun and the moon because we divided it. Okay, 24 hours. It had to come about some kind of way, didn't it? That we should increment the time. Who told us we had 24 hours in a day? But either way, we know man didn't know no 24 hours back in the day when the early man was created. Only thing he knew was that the rising of the sun and the going down of the sun and the rising of the moon created the next day. When the moon was evident, that was the next day. Now, he says, how then can man be justified with God? Behold, even to the moon it shineth not, the stars are not pure in his sight. This is a lie. Because he saw everything that he made, the Most High, everything the Most High made was good. How much less man who is a worm and the Son of Man which is a worm. Even when the Most High made man in his purity, that he placed him in the most pure garden, the most cleanest place ever, God knew that man was good. He made woman a little lower than the man. You might get mad at me at that, woman, but you came from the man. You're made in the image of the man. Everything you have is protruded, or it is there because you were chosen. You were made to multiply and nurture mankind. Whether it be mankind, I mean whether you're talking about male or female. This is the animals. God ain't crazy. You are. But either way, man was good in the sight. This is a Satan talking through that has made the mind of Bildad mad in what he's saying. He's mad in what he's saying. And that shows that this Bildad is mostly pagan, period. And if we do those things that are contained in the law, statutes, commandments, and ordinances of the Most High, we will